and that I want to give a super shout out to everybody in the chat. And let's get this started. I'm going to introduce the newest member of Team Yahushai, and that's going to be Cameron. How are you, brother? And then over to the host with the most, Jason Laufenberg. Good to see you, brother.
Doing good. It's nice to be here. I'm really excited to join Team Yahushai. It's just been such a wonderful road. Definitely finding the truth and finding these gentlemen that they believe the same things that line up with me, and it's fantastic. Give it over to Jason. Thank you.
Yeah, this is exciting, everybody. Ronnie and I have been talking about creating a community, a real one, not just like an online one where we, hang around virtually. One where we build one with dwellings and we, have land and we make free energy and do all these kinds of stuff. And this is something that is continually in the works. I have a property that I have to sell, and then once I've sold this place, I have to go somewhere and I have to do something. And this is what I want to do, and this is what I've been working towards. And the message has been out there, and Cameron reached out and said, you know what, this is something that interests me, and he's here now hanging out with Ronnie and I. And I really want to throw it back to Cameron and just let him tell everybody his story. If you could tell us, anything, flat earth, truther, your situation in life, anything that you want to share with people.
Yeah, definitely. I came across Ronnie and Jason. I was searching through YouTube videos for the truth myself, and I was thinking about, just talking about topics that these gentlemen already talk about, and going through a feed of videos, I found the truth documentary, and after that watched about the cartographic map and with the Book of Enoch and all that, and through there I instantly knew that these guys were on the same track of truth, because the truth is the truth. And that led me here. And I feel my calling, when it comes to the truth, is involving the truth about the health industry, the truth about, everything that they could be lying to us in regards to that. And I think there's a lot out there to be able to share, and I'm really excited to expand on that, and then also expand on the community. I think that's going to be great.
Yeah, so if you could tell everybody just a little bit about yourself, maybe things like your age, your background with Christianity, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm 23, from Texas, born and raised Texas, and grew up non-denominational. Went to a few different churches over the course of 1 through 18, and really stuck with a foundation of just your typical American way of going through the church system, growing up like that. And I grew up basically believing in going to a private school, Christian school, and I didn't, I guess, take it seriously. It was bombarded from me from the beginning, so I didn't really know what I was reading. I didn't understand it, but over time, as you read scriptures, they hit to you, and you see the things in life, you see everything around you, and you see that it's not exactly lining up with the scriptures like everybody says. And that's what happened to me. And from there, that started, and I decided to ask Yahushai to come into my heart and come into my life. And since then, I've been a changed man, and it's been blessings and suffering, and it's such a life full of love, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I went to Baylor University and dropped out after 3 years. Decided to pursue my health, because my situation, I grew up eating just a lot of food, and I didn't necessarily know was good for me. And for me, it all added up. So I had to take a few years off to be able to get my health back. And during that time, I was nothing but searching through the truth, searching through, just trying to find everything that the world and government's telling us that is not necessarily good for us, true. And since then, it's been nothing but a path of epiphany, revelation after revelation, being able to find the true way, and it's unfolding before us. And I think that as the community grows and each person's added, I know that everything is just going to be blessed, and we're going to continue forward with this. And
Amen.
yeah,
That's what I think is great, is that you're a Christian and you're like us. You're willing to be corrected. You're looking for the truth. You're new to this, but you're going to be active. And so some of the good things that I think that we could learn here is, because you're a bit more of a youthful gentleman than we are, even though you got the big beard, right? I know you don't judge people in their age, but how do you think that Jason and I could market the message? And okay, here's a better way to put this. What do you think is a good way to reach the youth? And a caveat to that would be, what do you think the youth is longing for in this generation?
I think that the youth is really longing for a sense of connection, because, growing up, it's with technology, since I was born, it's been nothing but bombardment of, like, I could say when I was young, just cool things and all this technology and gadgets that we're just all interested in. That totally depletes my communication skills as a young guy in this generation. And, I had to build that back up myself. But that's a huge thing. And I know that people have a hard time with having a hard time to communicate, because we don't truly understand how to from that. So I think that, the more interaction, the more community we get, and being able to talk to the youth and understand what they might be thinking, that we could come across. And mostly, they're all thinking about these days technology and how to expand on money. And that's, through just an indoctrination of the technology system. And that's from growing up from birth like that. So just to clarify that, you were saying something about a connection and maybe a non-connection, like a more of a physical, spiritual connection, right? Was that Yeah, we all have the spirit in us. And I like when I was young and would discuss Yahushua with people, we all felt this connection, but we never really knew how to talk about it. We never really knew how to discuss the emotion behind what we feel, or even just emotion about, troubles growing up. And all the time, they're trying to take away the scriptures from us in the schools. They took away the Bible. They took away God out of everything in the schools. And all the while, we're just being thrown all this other evil stuff. So it's just a lot of the young generation's confused. So I think that it's up to the truthers to help turn them back around and lead them to the way. So
getting their attention these days, here we are sitting on a number of big topics, super controversial, things like the flat earth, being in the simulation. Yet these are, techie kids. How do we get the message to them, address them, and get them over that hurdle, that initial hump or restriction, the one where you have to just look and see whether or not these things are true or not? How do we get them over that first looking into it thing?
I think that will really revolve around the person, because, as guys who make videos, it's hard to know who you're getting the video out to. So you don't know if you're going to just reach a young generation, and most of the young generations looking for different things. So I think that through trusting God, then through knowing where this world, people might find in their own evil that they're stuck in and don't realize it, the way of the truth. And I think, that's kind of what brought me to y'all, and that's what I think will kind of happen over time, honestly. And I don't think that we should have to worry about trying to reach the young generation. I think the young generation will find y'all, because that's what I did. I see how evil the world is, and I know that a lot of people my age do, and it scares them. And we got to take that fear away for them. And just like Yahweh said, just for us.
What about the lifestyle of living? So like Ronnie and I, our choice is to like go away from the big cities where all the, the clubs and the high speed internet and all that kind of stuff is, and to go out to the country where you hopefully don't have any neighbors around that you can see, just you out in the middle of some place, hopefully on some water. We're confident that we'll be able to produce our own electricity out there. But then we have the whole issue of, if we want to be disconnected from the world, we need to build our own infrastructure and take care of our own food and the life that just goes with living in the country. If you're not running to the city all the time, establishing that type of life. Do you think that that's an attractive lifestyle for a lot of people these days? Or
Yeah, I do, especially with the agenda pushing a new age movement that puts a lot of people away from technology. And I think that through that, a lot of people will be able to reach them, and they're, the hipster, the typical guy, girl that go to the festivals, they might be living in sin, but that they're the ones that are trying to get away from technology. They're the ones that are trying to get away from all this evil stuff that they know has been affecting them their whole life and been programming them. So I think that there's a lot of young generation out there that they might not be searching in the right direction right now, but I think they're on their way for sure.
see, I could totally see like a earthy hippie, just the pot smoking, backpacking, that type of person that goes on retreats and does the hikes and the kayaks and all this kind of stuff. I could see that person like in this type of life out in the country. I'm worried about some of the people that aren't into the work that takes place out in the country. What about that issue?
I think that's a big issue that as men we'll have to truly address and teach them how to work properly, because I had to learn myself, and I know that a lot of my generation doesn't know how to do stuff because of that, because y'all's generation, y'all all learned that stuff, and a lot of mine, because y'all did, felt the need that we don't want y'all to go through the harder times that we did and labor, and want y'all to relax and have good lives. And that's what it kind of seems to be, right?
So yeah, you get that easier cush lifestyle that of course is nice. I mean, that seems to be what most people would be attracted to, but then just as a natural outcome of that, you don't get the experiences involved that could help you out down the road. So there's that give and take that.
So definitely gonna have to teach the young ones if they don't know how, and show them hard work is key to having a successful community, and you can't just sit around and do nothing, for sure. I mean, I learned that because I sat around and did nothing a long time and I got nowhere. And that's a lot of the generation know that, and that's through technology and the indoctrination. So
that's not just younger people. Every generation's got that.
Every generation does have that. But I do see a lot of the older generation trying to blame all the college kids these days and that media stuff, saying everybody's lazy these days. But yeah, I mean, I would agree.
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
it's all part of the system that made the generation this way. So
Right.
that's their plan, and they did very well job trying to deceive all of us, and the young ones, trying to make sure they don't know God and only know technology and evil and lust, and throw it all at them. So I think that we can definitely achieve that, and being able to teach them that that's not the right way, just like we were taught from birth to be that way first.
I see we're going to be learning, like, say it's you, Ronnie, and I that are the first ones on a piece of land doing this, and then others join. We're going to be learning radically, like the three of us on the fly, and then we'll want to be sharing that on YouTube. It's going to be a process, and we'll make mistakes and we'll learn from them. But the more experience that we can draw in and be a part of this, probably the less mistakes we'll make along the way. The easier it is, the more manpower that there is. So
Totally.
I'm really hoping that that there's a group of people, almost like candidates, that because there's a good question by Yahweh's daughter: how do you ensure you have true Christians with you? So really, from your perspective, if surely you have to do an evaluation of Ronnie and I to see if we'd be somebody that we would want to live around, and we would have to do the same to you. And then from that point forward, it would be that process with everybody going forward. So what things would you be looking for in potential candidates? Let's say we had a batch of 10 people say, hey, I'd be interested in doing this, and we have to get started. We can't just start off. We have to grow infrastructure, so we have to pick them in an order. Like, what would be your screening process? What would you think of?
I would say the first step would be, ask them what they know about the truth, and make sure, if they truly know what they want, and if it's someone searching after the truth, that's one aspect that you got to get down. And second, I feel that as a truther, as a follower of Yahushai, that there's nothing to hide, and you'll be able to tell. And when you communicate with one of the candidates, that if they are trying to hide something, that they might either have baggage or they might be trying to infiltrate. And I think you go from there. And
yeah, so infiltrate. That is the main thing as a community. That of course, the first thing that everybody that's against us, because we're Christians, as Christians, we want to live in a group with other Christians. I don't see how weird or strange that would be. Like, we know that these are people that live by the Bible, that live by the moral code of the creator of this world. It's a safe place for us to be, but at the same time, of course, we'll be called a cult and all this kind of stuff. But infiltrators, that is what the Bible warned us about, that when we do build communities, that the wolves in sheep's clothing will actually attempt to try to get into the community to be disruptors. And we see it in all the staged news events. This group is fighting against this group, and it was infiltrators that started on each side. And it's such a weird thing to think that this would be a part of daily life, having to worry about infiltrators. You might be new to this. As a community, it's something that we're going to have to address. It's going to be part of the learning process to see how,
to really differentiate how to find the ones that may be the wolves in sheep's clothing, or sheep in wolves clothing. So I think that's going to be a huge part of it, and being able to determine that. I think there are going to be a lot of people to try to determine this, and I think that as the followers of Yahushai, that deep down, after communicating after a bit, we know, and as a community, you just kind of know. And if there is someone that may I guess, turned against us, that we, outplayed us, I think that as a community, we'll be able to take care of that together.
Mhm.
So, we're all strong together, and that's what makes us so powerful together instead of separate. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with it really, because in the community, one of the things that I've been thinking about is the need to give space for each individual within the community to lead the life that they would like to lead, and for us not be judgmental against these people whatsoever. If person likes this, that, or the other, as long as it doesn't fall into a category that the Bible categorically says is wrong, I really think that this should not be one of our issues that we have to deal with. Just let your brother or your sister do their thing. But as a group, of course, we would have to monitor against certain types of activities that if somebody, was started doing satanic sacrifices and we told them, listen, hey, you shouldn't do this, and they continued to do it, at some point we'd have to deal with that, right?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that wouldn't be too good. I think we'll be able to catch that before it happens. All right.
I'm not worried at all. So what, in a practical get her done type mentality, where would you like to go? What things do you contemplate as far as where do we go? What do we do?
As far as the purpose for what we're doing, or
Where we're gonna live?
oh, okay. We're trying to live out on a plot of land. We're trying to go to Puerto Rico, somewhere warmer, and I think through that we need to definitely stay away from the big cities and technology, because we got to get away from this technology. They have a lot of stuff to try to affect your body and beat it down and cause problems to it, and we need to be able to get away from that to be able to completely pursue and put out the truth and follow the truth like we know it to be.
But you're a person that, one of the things that you've been explaining to us, your physical health is something that has been a big part of your study as well, and the things that you're learning, I guess, has led you to wanting to be in this type of community where you have control over the grow system and what it is that you really want to control the food supply yourself.
Yeah.
Intensely, right?
Yeah, I think that it's important to control our own food, so we understand exactly what's being put into our food, and we live the way that we can glorify our bodies and temples like Christ asks us to do. And I think that's extremely important, to keep our temple healthy and understand if bad things are being put into it. We need to address that, and safely too, because if there's things wrong and people coming in a community that have problems, we want this community to we want everyone to understand this community will be able to definitely help any ailments and problems that people have. Yeah,
Healing, right?
Yeah,
because people go to they go to therapy retreats and things like this for their health and well-being all the time, and oftentimes the type of things they go to are a place on a river, and they have steam baths and this kind of stuff. So I mean, the community that we would like to build would be, in a sense, a therapy retreat for all of us all the time. So
yeah,
right?
Definitely. Yeah, especially with technology, the young ones, like my generation, we are gonna love getting away from technology, and they may not realize that until after we're there. It's that's great.
Because there's therapy with animals, just being with animals. So you got to sort of be out in the country to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's there's the therapy that comes from having the healthy food grown, that you know that nothing's been added, it's not GMO, stuff like that. And then really there's so many other things. I've noticed that you have a routine, that you really do things to take care of your body. And so in a community where our bodies really are essential to our existence, as far as, you know, we're responsible for doing the physical labor in the structures, in the infrastructure, the planting, maintaining trees and irrigation and who knows what. Our bodies have to function to be able to do those things. So it's this cyclical thing that you want it running as a well-maintained machine to get the best performance out of it. So
yeah, you know, I plan personally to help teach community how to properly take care of our bodies together, and you know, we'll build each other up and strengthen each other, and I'll help people learn about alignments and ailments that, you know, we may not know that we have, that are causing us pain, causing us you know, symptoms that you could always worry about that you don't need to worry about. And everything can be cured. It really can. And, you know, that's going to be a big part of the community. And, you know, healing just happens along with following the truth, following the way, and striving for that, learning, wanting to know. And that's huge. And, you know, we're definitely going to take care of each other. And I really hope to make everybody feel comfortable, no matter what situation you are in your life, health wise, that you're welcome. And it won't be easy and it won't be hard. Just understand that healing is, that everybody needs healing in this world.
yeah,
You know, everybody does. And it's going to be a place of healing all the time.
I have so much pain in my body. And that's one of the reasons why I just can't stand the cold, because if it's cold, this body hurts in an unbearable way. So as long as I stay warm, it's like the joints and stuff stay lubricated. They don't freeze up on me.
Yeah. And that's going to be important. Puerto Rico will be a perfect place for that. You know, the weather's always that perfect temperature for the body. It's never going to get too cold. And we'd be able to have our cardiac rhythm set properly, you know, with the sun, and our bodies will be stronger through the heat and the nature of the area, for sure. And I think that's going to be big too, especially for people in cold areas. If you are called to come down to the community, that will definitely help you too. Just as cold does help in certain situations, though.
Have you ever done any surfing?
Yeah. I've never done surfing on the ocean, but I've surfed behind a boat.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Wake surfing. Yeah, I like that
surfing
too.
So that's fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have a vision for a community of a group of us guys that the truth is our passion. This is what drives us. It is the overall baseline commonality between this group of people, and then above and beyond that, just fun people that get to get along with each other. So far, Ronnie's a great musician. He plays guitar, drums, piano. I played piano and drums. And what about you, Cameron?
I play guitar. I play drums and sing. So that's what I like to do.
Yeah. What else would you envision? Like, say we're just hanging out evenings, got a evening to kill, or a day that we're just hanging out. What?
I think the, you know, normal day of going about our way. I think there could be, you know, times of getting together and worshiping and singing together. And, you know, singing is extremely healing, worshiping the Lord. And I think that we could definitely do something like that. And, you know, times of group therapy is in, you know, stretching and just helping each other loosen out and get bodies back to where we need them to function properly and fully, in order to glorify the Lord.
Yeah, I already know that work wise, I get most of I have to stay busy working. Otherwise I get really antsy and
Mhm.
start to get anxious and don't feel good about myself. I have to keep myself with projects in front of myself, keep working. I love outdoor work. So I know that's not a problem, but yeah, I look forward to having some guys that I'm friends with that will want to go surfing or kiteboarding or, whatever kind of fun thing. My version of fun, I sort of like those things.
Mhm.
But people to do that, and then with variety, as people come in, that there'll be the people that are attracted to doing this and that, but having a group of people that you know that you can love, trust, depend upon, that are there to take care of you, you're there to take care of them.
Well,
I love it.
well, what I see is, the therapy with the gardening and the work of, doing the watering and the meditation with the plants, and just truly connecting our code back with the creator's code, and learning to take away from diagnosis and, self-inflicted wounds and baggage that we carry around. We just keep asking the Holy Spirit, and it takes it from us. And the other thing that the community is going to be really strong is we're gonna read scriptures together. We're gonna study the word. We're gonna not lie. We don't lie in this community. We tell the truth always. So, like, that's some of the ways that we're going to weed people out is, how many lies are you telling, and why, and what kind of a life are you leading? And it sort of takes a bit of a purification process. Like when I joined this community, and I started to take steps in my life to remove impurities, and I'm going to continue to do that. And I think that's going to be something that's going to naturally happen. The work aspect, Jason and I are both skilled. Jason's super skilled in what he does, and I've got some skills to teach too. And we're hard workers, and we put the sweat out there, and we do things that last. And we're going to teach people how to appreciate working with their hands. We're going to teach people to appreciate, how you grow your vegetables and thanks to the Lord, and then the way that you give thanks to the Lord when you eat these vegetables that you grow, and the meat that you have, and all these types of things. Farming, free energy. We're going to be developing a generator using water as fuel. We're going to be constantly trying to come up with ways to better our lives, the most healthy way we can. So I guess to throw it back to you guys, I'm going to ask, what do you think, to each of you guys, started with Jason, what do you think the most important way we could market this message, and who are the people, caveat to that, or who are the people that we're trying to attract? Are they going to be pure Christians, or, just give me an answer any way you'd like.
It goes back to that list of 4 things that I've been talking about. To be considered like Team Yahushai, I think that to be a part of this community, you have to be able to use the hashtag Team Yahushai correctly. And that involves knowing the earth is flat, knowing that the AE mapping model doesn't work, knowing that you're in a simulation, and knowing that the creator of this world is the God of the Bible. And I feel that if we have those 4 things in common, that we can have a pretty firm foundation to be able to discuss the things that we disagree on.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with I think that as we try to, I guess, market, could you reframe your question for me, Ronnie? Or just ask it again?
Well, what do you think the best way to market, and who are we marketing towards?
Okay. I think we're marketing towards everybody that we can, and in particular, the people that are searching for the truth. And I think that we need to market everybody, the sinners, the ones that are scared, that to follow the truth. We need to help them realize, that it's not so scary following the truth. It's not.
That's a great answer. The fear actually goes away when you fear the proper things in this world. When you stop fearing how your reactions are on social media, when you stop fearing that you might not be the most popular, or when you stop fearing that because you're in the slave job and that if you don't go to that slave job tomorrow that you're not going to be able to pay your bills. When you lose these types of fears, you come out so much healthier. And so the next thing that I wanted to say, Cameron, is in today's society, let's say, um, Jason and I are taking a devout stance on not lying, watching the words that come out of our mouth with swearing and keeping idle and very precise with everything we do. We're talking about not being the partier every day. We're talking about walking a super strict manly path, standing up, being a man and doing what's right and telling these other people, you were born a man, you were born a woman. Gay sex is super prohibited. Like the commandments in the Bible, what do they mean to you, Cameron?
They're extremely important to me. I think that it's when you think of the Ten Commandments, it's almost your inner feeling of right and wrong. And if you break a Ten Commandment, you're gonna feel that. And as a young generation guy, it's prevalent, that feeling, because it seems to be the more evil that's coming in this world, the more that young generations unconsciously breaking the Ten Commandments. And I think that's a important aspect that we got to look at when looking at the generation, is that there are going to be a lot of people that might be turned away in a sense, just because they don't feel clean enough, and whatever they want to think in their head. But I want to reach out to them and tell them that we make mistakes, but as long as we listen to the Lord, we will know what's right and wrong, and we can consciously ask Yahushai to rebuke any evil if we come into contact with it. And it comes, it's a really broad category for the young generation, especially with social media. If there's women that young people have on social media that they shouldn't be following, unfollow them. In the back of your heart, if are searching for the truth and searching for the Lord, that's not right. So I think that's huge for that. And the commandments, if you follow them, the fulfillment and knowing that you are following the God's law is fantastic.
So we got a couple of topics that we're going to have to address, and that is that's the actual nuts and bolts. Is there an age restriction? Is there a certain age that is a minimum or a maximum? Is there what's going to be the deal with females as well too? We're going to be grilled by everybody. What's our stance is going to be? And I don't know that we have all the answers now, but we can start hashing it out and trying to figure out what's going to work as a community that fits the ideals that we want it to fit.
Yeah, I think that trying to get out what we're trying to do and who we're trying to get it for. I blanked out. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, just age-wise, do you think there should be a minimum age?
Oh, as far as that minimum age, no, I don't believe there should be. I think that if there's someone for example that's 16 and trying that's for that time, and depending on the situation, and if
there's all the legalities and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
And then what age-wise, what if a person is invalid, they can't move, can't take care of themselves,
I think that there's nowhere that anybody shouldn't be able to go, and we take care of each other.
Mhm.
You know, we help each other, and we accept anyone that is open to the word, open to the truth.
Mhm.
And that's super important.
So we're going to have to address all those issues
Mhm.
as to how we can strategically make those things all happen.
Yes.
What about females?
Females, I myself got to stand firm in, the scriptures. And I think that, we as men are called to teach. And I think that we should stick with that. And I welcome any woman in, of course, but, we're helping each other. And it all goes back to what
I know they're tough questions, right?
very hard questions.
Yeah, super hard. So I mean, there's not a right or wrong answer with this. This is something that we're going to have to figure out
Mhm.
as a community. Ronnie, you got any thoughts on any of those questions?
Yeah, totally. This is what it's going to be like, what I got here in my background. We're going to have lush things. Jason is a super perfectionist. This is about getting back to living under God's skies and honoring God, because we know that everything in the simulation is totally being monitored. The book of life has been written. If we are honored enough and humble enough to get into the book of life, every deed is counted for. So as for women, we need strong women that are after the heart of the Lord. And the Lord comes first. Our Heavenly Father is always first, last, in the middle, in between, the whole entire thing. And I believe that having strong women in the community would be a huge benefit to us and them, because God created us all to live together in harmony. But we know that until Yahushua comes back, we're not going to ever reach perfection. But what we can honestly offer here is a group of men that aren't after sexual things. We've all had our times at our ages, and we're more about the prayers and the scriptures and the living a healthy life. Listen, we want to honor our Father in heaven. We don't want to be lustful. We don't want we want to have a good time, though, party, and we're still gonna give thanks to the Lord and be totally in love with life. But I think the most important thing is anybody is going to be super welcome to come, as long as that the Lord is their first and last commandment of the beginning of the day. And that's what I see.
I think it's probably going to have to be like on an application basis, where we're established and people that are interested, that reach out to us, we're going to have to talk to them and see how they fit into the community. And if those of us that are there see the fit, and I guess there's going to have to be like democracy. We're going to have like meetings of the elders to make decisions for the community. And we're going to have to be in agreement. So, I mean, this to me is the beginning of the fulfillment of the elect being in agreement, knowing that group has to do that. So yeah, we're going to have to work together and come to agreement on issues and see how it works for the community. And some people are going to have to give in some areas, and others,
Jason, I wanted to add, just thinking about all y'all watching, if there's anyone out there you don't want to add on the hard question that he asked, if you have anything, Love Warrior, I know that you're a woman, so if you have any comment on what you think as a woman joining a community, to what you would look for in other women that would be joining a community like this, anyone out there, if you want to answer these questions, we're always open to learning and evaluating each and every truth answer, because that's how we determine how to come to the truth. That's how we strengthen each other.
Yeah, we can't reject anything. Like, we've been talking about this. We've been infiltrated a number of times, Ronnie and I, and so I think the purpose of that is to create it so that we become gun shy, so we don't continue to let people in.
Mhm.
Because imagine if, you know, you reached out to us, and because every time we've been infiltrated up till now, we were just like, no, this guy's probably some, you know, other COINTEL type guy.
Yeah.
An opportunity would be missed. So we do have to keep that open door, but then run things through filters. And so the main thing that I would want to see is a person's track record. What's your history that's documentable, as far as you've done missionary work, or you know, what's your track record as a Christian? What is your skill sets? What do you bring to the table? Like, obviously you came in knowing that you have health related knowledge that is an asset that you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
And Ronnie has his attributes as far as all the knowledge of scripture and extra canonical scripture. He is
That's another thing we should do.
what's that?
Hey everyone, see, this is 3 of us in the name of Yahushua are coming together, and a dog. We got a dog here. I don't know if she made it into the shop, but she's passed right out. She's loving the call. Everybody, 3 of us, love for the Lord.
And I bring my attributes. So really a person that would be interested should know that they have a track record ready to share, and know what skill sets they feel that they would want to contribute, how they could be of benefit. And that's how I would get into a community, is I would tell everybody, hey, listen, I can do this and this. And
Yeah, I'll use myself an example. When I was thinking about, okay, how am I gonna go about reaching out to Jason and Ronnie, knowing like they're probably gonna think I'm not like real and truth and about Yahushai, but I realized, you know what, I have something great to offer. I you know, everybody has their own little piece of information that they may know that may help the community, and I know that there's so many of y'all out there that know something that us 3 don't know, and I call you to help share that with us if you feel like it. And that's what I did. I felt that you know, I could help add to the community through my knowledge in the health field, and that's how I reached out. And I also felt that I could fully entrust you know, Jason and Ronnie to know that I would be real and I would be someone of the truth. And, you know, they made that determination themselves, and they were able to find that. And, you know, that was only through my ability to want to reach out, to want to be able to gain their trust, because that's important. You know, as a truther, we understand that there's so many deceptions around us. So we got to know that
yeah, trust is such a key thing. I've been learning about it my whole life, and I'm now 45 and 2 divorces, and now all of a sudden trust and truth, no lies, I find the most important, where I didn't have the value set like that before. So it's a learning process, but I am to the point now where trust and truth is really that's the biggest gold there is in this world.
yeah.
So there's so little of it, and it has to be earned too, right?
Yeah, I would agree. As far as the trust goes, let me ask you a question. If there's a, you know, a young guy like me that wants to join a community, not me, just an example, and someone else comes in, but they still struggle with lying, but you can tell that their heart is in the right place, how would you go about either, you know, determining how they should fit in the community, or what you would tell them as a follower?
Ooh, lies. That triggered something in my head. Like, I'm like, oh my God, the fear, like the idea of being in the community and finding out that somebody in the community is lying to me. Wow. definitely don't want that to happen. So how to prevent that?
Like, how could we determine maybe actors from not? Or, if it's not an actor, but it's someone that's just, they just have a hard time. It's something that they've been indoctrinated since birth, that, they've been lying their whole life. And it's hard. There is people out there like that, but they still want to know truth and their heart's in the right place. What would you do for that?
They want to know the truth, but they still want to lie, huh?
They want to know the truth, but they the subconscious liar, like they don't even know that they're lying.
I can answer that one. Oh,
Okay.
I can't. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, no, that's a pretty easy answer for me. Is when you come and you follow the rules and the commandments, when you start acting, holy and putting your mind to prayer, your conscience actually is the judge of you, not Jason, not you, not I. It's our own conscience. So I believe wholeheartedly, actually, I don't have any doubt at all that anyone that joins our community under the right intentions will, by defect, it will be like a brand new experience for them. The lies will maybe at the beginning, but then, oh, I can't believe I just said a lie, sorry about that, guys. These are the types of,
yeah, it'd be embarrassing, right?
yeah, this is what I foresee happening. But we get all these propaganda pieces that, the world is filled with all hate and sheeple and mindless eaters. But I do believe, honestly, deep down in my heart, that there will be a group of Christians of all ages that are going to want to be in a community like this, and are going to want to share what it is that we're doing. And I really, really, really hope that, now that we've got a third, I expect the domino effect to take off. And so what do you guys see? I know the property coming up quick is coming upon us, but what do you think is going to be our biggest, the gardening? Is it going to be filming, making YouTube videos? Is it going to be the free energy generator? What is it that's going to be the hashtag Team Yahushai out of the gate?
Well, there's a good chance that we're just going to be buying a piece of dirt, right? So that it's a clean slate. So we'd have to decide where we're going to have dwellings, and strategically, and then from those dwellings where we're going to have our power source located, where we're going to have a community center. Like, one of the things that I'm envisioning are simple cabins for us to live in, so that we have our own private dwelling space, but maybe porches that we can commune with each other. I sort of like the idea, and this is all going to have to be hashed out, of a community kitchen, gathering place that we don't each have our own separate kitchen. That it's a lot of appliances, and the nice thing about food is the communal property of it. So if we had to gather together to do our eating, I like the idea of it. And then having that be a larger space that then could be used for other uses, where, maybe it's got a big projector screen and we can watch videos together.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's a great place to be able to commune. I think that, as once we get down to it, we'll enjoy that more so than, wanting to eat by ourselves.
Mhm.
Because, we're going to all want to be able to just be together as a community. It's going to be very, very loving place, and that'll be in abundance with the Lord all around us. So I think that's
That kind of sounds like the New Jerusalem. I just got to call that out. Would be really nice if we could achieve that with the Lord all around us. Without, maybe, I've pondered that it's going to take a group of people with the true, sincere love in their hearts that want to live and that want to walk in His ways, to bring Him back. Maybe it's the tribulation is, maybe that's the beautiful part of the story that we haven't found yet, is that we each play a really big role in the book of life, and we're actually approaching go time. And I guess that's the the thing to see, like people stepping up. So Jason, you were the one who. What would you like to see if you could reach out to the people on the other side of the screen? What's your message to them about this community?
I'm looking forward to it. I had my experience where I was out at Bethel for a couple of years, the headquarters of Jehovah's Witnesses. And even though, you know, they're a false religion, a false Christian religion that I'm aware of that, I still have the experience of having been there. And so it was like 4,000 or 4,500 guys that were generally in the 18 to 25 range, but then there were the guys that were the lifers there. And it was great. I enjoyed that experience immensely. There was always somebody to get a basketball game, volleyball game, go to the beach. You know, the community, the communion was fantastic, and we were incredible as a group. We were super strong. We could build anything in a super short amount of time. You know, we printed all their literature and stuff like that. It had the communal dinners where we all ate together. We worshiped together. We sang together. So I've had those experiences, and to do it more out in nature. That was in New York City. To do it out in nature, to be using the hands with a small select group of people that are real truth seekers, that have pushed beyond the boundaries of what most people think is truth. That's really exciting to me. That to me is the most fulfilling way that I could run out the rest of my years in this world if Yahushua didn't return for a while. So
well, I just want to set this straight. You and I both have the same desire. We want to serve. Okay. We are both builders, and we want to build, and we want to take care of people like the way that Yahushua told us to. We know that one of the most important thing is to feed and clothe and take care of the orphans, and to take care of widows and anybody who has pain or is troubled from any ailments. We know that the Lord is going to bring them to us, and we're going to do what it takes to make them healed. And not only that, but Jason giving back to the community, giving people a skill, learning how to do landscaping. And, you know, I know that it's going to be tough for the younger generation growing up not using the tools as much as I have. But the great thing is I was given such a task with learning new skills. And I have the great, easy patience to teach anybody anything. And so does Jason. And we are going to give back. And we feel like we are creating a community where people can come together, where we're going to have free speech, where it's going to be Christian, faith-based. And it's going to be basically, we're going to let the Spirit lead us the entire time, just like we have. And just like, so you yourself said that you've been on spiritual missions and been around the world a bit. I mean, I can cross the plane. So Cameron, what would you say is something that you took away from that experience?
Well, I've been to Ireland on a mission trip, and I've been to Uganda, Africa on a mission trip. I'll tell a little bit about each. Both were for 2 weeks, and both different parts of the world. But when I went to Ireland, we were labor servants, and you know, we helped build up churches that might have been knocked down or through destruction or whatever it may be, vandalism, and we helped. We went out there to serve. We went out there to be servants to everybody that needed it, and that's what we're called to do. And when I went to Africa, it was a little bit different. We helped teach kids and orphans, and they needed to, you know, learn more about Yahushua from a different perspective. And we also just played with them. We had fun with them, and that's extremely important. You know, it's about having fun too.
Yeah, throwing the football, playing the guitar. having a laugh, being funny. I noticed you have a great sense of humor. And that's super needed in this community. Like I can totally foresee the top of the mountain with the guitar and the fire pit and some great friends here. And it's amazing that we found you and you found us, brother, because we were starting to really question, like, is there anybody else out there that hears us besides we have great people in the chat, but meeting in person and having the three people, we know that wherever many gather, Yahushai will gather too, like super strong and super boost us. So what would you like to see again? I know I've been asking this question from the people that might be living a life where they feel like they need something more. What was your message be? Both of you, please answer.
I think that my message would be, if you're looking for more, keep searching. You're gonna find it because the truth is the truth, and there's lots of deception. But we're helping. We're here to help you, guide you in the direction of the truth. And Jason, you have any add on that?
I just, from a practical, knowing that you're in a simulation standpoint, the way to make things materialize for sure is to identify a goal and know what the goal is, and then come up with the action plan necessary to achieve the goal. You can do this in once you've got that action plan, you can look at it as far as each necessary step that had to have been achieved, and look at what the very first step is and make that step. So like you said, reaching out to us you had to type something and send it to us. And it was that simple. Mm-hmm. And that can be the process that initiates something. Bigger goals might take, actually that is a big goal. That's a huge goal. Decide where you're going to live, how you're going to live your life. And it started with typing out a message and hitting send. So really, this shouldn't be an overwhelming task for people. Just you have to decide what it is that you want to do and achieve, and then.
When there's a lot of baggage that you may feel you have, just understand it's easy to let it all go. It really is. Mm-hmm. It's nothing but materialistic things, and once we can realize that, once you can realize that, it's very rewarding to know that we can be fulfilled through Christ instead of materialistic things.
And in my heart, to answer my own question, is I feel that we need a group of men that are wanting to take the Lord in their heart and to become providers and workers and lovers of the truth and the scriptures. And we also equally need strong women. We need women that need to be strengthened. We need to have the feminine and the male. We have to learn how to disrobe with these titles. I know that the whole gender thing, I'm not talking about switching gender. I'm talking about being strong in the gender that we are. We need powerful women and women that need to be involved in this message as well. I know that they've been put out in a lot of commentary throughout history and not talked about as much in the scriptures, but Yahushua visited women first. But we have made the commitment to separate ourselves from these wicked ways of the world. So that's why I'm saying that to have a community of mixed people, all colors, I hope, all races, would be exactly so. We just need as much help from everyone out there that hears this message, that might know somebody that's not having as easy of life as possible. Someone that, we're not looking for the elite. We're looking for the people that need some help, just like we need some help. Like this is about taking care of those that can benefit from the love of the Lord. And that's my mission without a doubt. And I want everyone to know that they can feel like Cameron, you've spent some time with us, which was very brave of you. And, could you just give a short witness unto who do you think that we are for the viewers to know? Because you're the first one that ever interviewed us, right?
Yeah. I just like to start off by saying, I coming into it, I could have thought anything, but when I got here, the whole vibe was comfort and love. When you walk into a situation, if it's going to be a good or bad situation, and Ronnie and Jason are such great men and followers of Yahushai, and it's very prevalent. You feel the love. You understand that their truth is the truth. You understand what they're trying to get across. I love y'all for everything y'all have just shared with me and taught me. And I just, as I've been here, we just discuss, we just talk, we go over new things, we learn, and we help each other. And that's what it's been about since I've been here, and I've loved every single minute of it. It's just a building community, and that's the impression that I feel. I just absolutely feel comfort, and I feel like you find that in community with people that follow the Lord.
All right. Ronnie, what are you looking for in the community?
The community, a group of loving people that love the Lord and that want to share the scriptures and that want to do their task. And I'm looking for, I can see, not a group of misfits, but a group of people that maybe aren't your normal perfect person coming together to be super strong.
What are those? There's like the kids movies where the Bad News Bears or something. Where
Yeah,
it's...
I love that movie, a baseball movie. Bad News Bears, they're hilarious, right? That's exactly what I see. Or like the Mighty Ducks, right? The hockey movie where they do the flying V or whatever. But I can't wait because I know this is approaching so fast and it's going to be incredible. I know as soon as we break ground and we start filming this and we figure out how we're going to do it, we're going to just get more and more powered. So I guess I'll just leave it up to you guys. Cameron, what do you how do you want to help the community? Are you looking for people to sub to your channel? Are you going to build a new channel?
My plan is I'm going to build a channel. I haven't decided on a name yet. It might be Cameron. It might be something else. I can let y'all know. But what I want to kind of go through is, just stuff about finding your true health and finding the way to protect ourselves from what we don't know. And I'm here to help y'all know. And so that's what I want to try to do through my channel. And also when the community comes around and we're here in person, I want to help y'all in any muscle elements. And I very good at acupressure and master acupressurist. So I can help you realize any pain you may not have or may have that you don't know about and fix that. And, I'm going to be here every step of the way through the battle of the health, because it's a big one. I've been through it my whole life, and I understand that, we're all in pain. So that's my goal with my channel and with the community, is to help us get out of pain, because that is extremely, extremely doable. We can heal.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And, it's one of the things that the scriptures foretell is that there will be no more pain or suffering. So I see us just like merging right into this new life.
Mm-hmm.
But it's on us to actually take care of and do these right now until something miraculous changes things, right? So
yeah, I think that when we look at biblical history, we can see that our bodies aren't as strong as they were back then when they were around on the earth. And that is huge. That should be a sign like, well, maybe we should be doing things different for our bodies in order to keep that and maintain that health. So, and we should definitely do that while we're here, because we can feel better while we're here. I'm not saying, you'll never have pain again, but in the end, if you do believe you will be out of pain, I do believe that the pain will be gone for sure.
Amen.
That's how healings happen, with that kind of conviction through knowledge. That is how healings happen.
Definitely. Ronnie,
So,
you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, totally. I know that when praying, it's not I don't sit down and go, "Oh, Heavenly Father, please, I need a new car, I need some new shoes, I need a basketball net, I need a hockey rink. I need, everybody to feel better." I try to just generally know that I have Yahweh in my heart. Yahweh Shai is always with me. And I expect exactly what his will to be done. And not only that, I know without any doubt that his will be done. And what we're doing is we are founding our foundation upon the rock, upon the church, upon the scriptures, and we're doing it as a group. There's 3 of us now. We're going to keep moving. We're going to keep pushing forward. And not to discount anybody in the chat. We love you all, especially ROTR and everybody that's been around. But Cameron took the first step to come. Hey, we said we had an extra room, and we're always looking for people. This is what the truth is. And I'm just super thankful to meet such an intelligent, bright man that's got a road ahead of him of work, and someone who understands the fear of the Lord. And I just have to compliment you and say, please share your message, get involved. We are definitely here for communion all the time with you, brother. And I look forward to everything that we're going to have happen.
Yes, I definitely do. It's really been great to come here, and I just want to say for also the people that may view this later or watching now, it was very, very quick that I found Jason and Ronnie, and I showed up here. I want to say it was between 2 and 3 weeks of ever finding their videos,
Oh, wow.
and that should show y'all there's nothing to fear. If you want the truth, go after it. It's right in front of you. Don't fear anything.
Amen.
Yeah, it's scriptural, right? Have no fear. Yahushua tells us that over and over and over. And it's one of the points that I learned in my new agey getting enlightened days. Is that fear itself is of an unreal thing, because the thing that you're fearing isn't something that's actually happened. It's something that you think could happen. So it's an unreal thing that you're imagining, and yet you're having all these negative consequences. And
Yeah, it's all in your head, but you're trying to you got to have your mindset of is this fear real? No, it's not. You can take it away yourself.
yeah, so caution's practical, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, use caution. If you're walking through deep grass here in Texas, you got to keep your eyes open for snakes.
Yeah.
But to just be out here and be afraid to walk into a mowed backyard, that type of fear paralyzes a person and holds them back from just everyday normal natural living. So
I want to add to that fear that a lot of fear in today's world does also stem from health, because if we're not in good health, then our mental state might not be as strong as it could be. So we're open to temptation and demons all around us, more so than the people that want to find true health. You got to understand, you got to go after that.
yeah, you gotta. Well, you've mentioned that you're a perceptive person, right? You can feel energies. Like, you could give people a little insight, just more about your background as far as maybe how you've acquired these skills, come to rely upon them, how you use these skills.
Okay. So when I was growing up, I was a football player in high school, and I've broken my collarbone, torn my shoulder, broken my ankle, and grew up with neck thing called torticollis. So my body has been through a lot of things, and over time was just getting worse and worse. So I decided, after going through the whole doc, which I will get into in future videos, I realized that I can heal myself, and I really wanted to learn how to do this. And before I really truly learned that the Father can heal us if we ask, I learned how to do that, myself. And we can also feel our muscles. We have ways that we can fix muscle problems that we may have based off injuries that, we might not just be able to believe we can heal ourselves. It takes time to be able to understand how to heal your body and also what's wrong with it. So
Well, it took you time, but now that you know how to do it, you might be able to pass that on really quickly too.
yes, yeah, I help. At my worst point, I wasn't really able to feel my whole right arm or my right leg. I was walking with a cane to class in college as a 21-year-old, and that just doesn't sound right. And I had no explanation for it. And through learning to train my mind to feel my body, and you have the ability to feel each and every muscle in your body. It's your body. And once you can come to the conscious realization that you have that power to control your body, it's yours, and then you can start to learn how to heal it better, learn how to feel it better, and that all comes through,
Attention.
attention. Yeah, attention to it.
Just the awareness, but we weren't taught how to become aware of like a certain muscle. Like if you're you got a muscle that's tucked under your shoulder blade or something, you've learned the ability to be able to hone in, put the attention to the particular spot.
Yeah, I'll help people be able to feel that muscle maybe for the first time.
Yeah.
And through this feeling, you will be able to use your mind to associate it with that muscle. It's a muscle memory. So once, I help you get a muscle going that maybe hadn't been working for a while, you might start to feel, okay, so this is how it works, and then it goes from there. And to note on the healing process too, as we fix muscle ailments, that we might realize, if I have a tight hip, I need to. This is what I've learned is I gotta go through a bunch of different muscles in my leg and release them, and there will be weak, but over time it builds strength, and you understand that this is how the body's supposed to work, that you feel better, and everything is just starting to come together in a big picture. And that's a big process. Is just, yes, I will definitely help everybody feel whatever muscles they need, and I can see that just by looking at someone, and that's just through the attention to myself to try to figure that out myself. And I want to share that with everybody I can, because if I feel I can heal myself with anything, like I know I can, I know that everybody can feel that same way. And as people learn this knowledge, just imagine the overall healing that will just go on.
My dad had that type of intuition where he could spot tension and just put his hands on somebody's back and just a couple moves and be like, oh, jello, like, don't stop.
Yeah.
And so I've acquired it and learned it a little bit. It sounds like you've taken it to higher lengths, but it's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah. Love where I see you talk about CBD. I do love CBD oil and everything it has to offer. It's the information I know about it. It's definitely a natural healer and no psychoactive activity. It's the component of marijuana that is not going to affect the mind, and it only takes away pain, anxiety, muscle elements. And yeah, it is crazy. It's awesome. It is something that God gave us to take away pain, like better than prescription pills can do for you. Any of the things that they're trying to kill you with, we can get off these things with the things that God gave us that are natural. And
yeah, that's what the community does. Like a person, you can't do these things to yourself. You have to do it to somebody else, but then you need that person to be able to do it back to you. So as as the community grows, each one of those skill sets that we offer and share with the community is a benefit for everyone. And, you know, then hopefully you get taken care of as a result. That's just natural. We all want to benefit, and there's so many things that we've been programmed with by society and mass media and stuff. You know, guys are so afraid that, oh, some other guy's going to do an like an acupressure move on you, and that's gay or something. Well, you're an idiot for thinking something like that. That's a brother helping another brother out the way a brother is supposed to.
No, I do understand. I get it. Like, people that you might have that first mindset, that's just the conditioning. You know, if you do think it, just let it go. I understand.
Usually that's a sign of demonic attacks, because anyone that follows the scriptures
Mhm.
and is of the truth knows, like, we're not we're separated from, you know, even the thought of lust from a woman, which is, you know, super difficult. This is about being brothers and sisters with one another and coming to the correct truth of how to live, and caring about everyone's personal needs, and knowing if you have a chiropractic skill, using it, if you have a gardening skill, using it, if you have a skill of just, you know, bringing everyone together with a smile, you know, you're going to be used as well. And that's what the pure message is going to be. We're going to try to live like Yahushua is with us, right? Well, he is with us in our hearts, but we want more, right?
Definitely. Oh, yeah, Ronnie, I wanted to add that, you know, anybody that, you know, you think you have a skill set, you don't need any documentation, like, or if you went to college, we don't need to see a degree. If you can show us you can do it, I fully trust that.
You probably do it better than somebody with a degree or certification.
Oh yeah, you know, going through a bunch of doctor's appointments when I was learning about things, the doctors, they're not number one holistic doctors, and they just know how to put you on things to try to, you know, ease the symptoms.
They have a checklist of pills that they're going to go through.
Yeah, definitely. And they don't learn these things. Most, like, doctors have to, if they want to learn it, on their own. But you got to realize that doctors go through so much indoctrination through school, they don't have time to learn these things on their own.
Doctor. Right?
Exactly.
Indoctrination. But so I guess, you know, this has been a super amazing fun thing to do. We've been blessed with your presence, your guitar skills, your math, your thinking, your logic, and I'm just super humbled that we met you, Cameron. I'm super thankful to the Lord, and I hope we have more of this communion, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ronnie. I've loved talking to you and enjoying every single bit of it, every single step of the way. And I know I will continue to, just as I know that we're all going to strengthen each other.
Thank you all. Thank you all. And if you're interested, everybody, take the next step. Take it.
Only
Beyond flat earth.